So this is why we buy games on the PC, because no matter what happens, you always know that modders will add at least a few more hours of fun that you can't get anywhere else. It's been a few weeks since Hogwarts Legacy came out, and I'm in shock how much progress has been made in the modding scene. There's now a wanted system, you can attack other students at Hogwarts, new mounts to ride, and features that honestly should have been there since day one. Before we move on though, I want to give a big thanks to War Thunder for sponsoring today's video. War Thunder offers the most immersive vehicle combat gameplay, and it's fully playable on both PC, next gen, and old gen consoles likewise. You can play and choose between more than 2,000 different tanks, planes, ships, and choppers in some of the most intense and dynamic PvP battles out there. There's really a lot of room for tactical plays here, including camouflage, but you can also go for pure aesthetics with its deep customization system. The game features dynamic vehicle damage and even an X-ray mode that I really like, especially since it lets you see exactly what happens with your enemies when you obliterate them. And it's all easy to control too with a mouse aim, especially flying aircrafts and whatnot. All it takes is just a keyboard and mouse. So totally check out War Thunder using my links down below. There's also a massive premium bonus pack you get for free right now, including multiple vehicles, boosters, and lots of other cool stuff on top. Now, I must not be the only one who messed around with the skill points on the first playthrough only to find out too late that there actually isn't a way to reset them. You don't really expect that from games nowadays. Well, thanks to a modder that goes by the name of Spec Silent Sean, we now have the mod called Talent Reset Potion. This immersively adds a brand new recipe you can buy for just 3,000 galleons from J. Pippin's Potions in Hogsmeade. You brew it like any other potion at its respective crafting table, and even now I'm still surprised by the level of quality. The icon is completely custom made and looks so well that at no point would you think it's out of place or otherwise separate from the game. You can also pick between different difficulty modes of the same file, which will alter the number of resources needed to craft the potion. This is of course if you want it to be more meaningful or more difficult. Its only slight downside is the fact that you cannot place it currently on the quick wheel menu, but instead have to head over into the quest item inventory and use it from here. Quickly pressing F while hovering it will immediately reset all of your existing talent points and refunds them with a neat pop-up on the side, from which point you can go in, fully respec your character and invest those points however you see fit. Now moving on next, probably one of the most exciting mods right now in Hogwarts Legacy is the one called Dragonogryff. Out of all of the mount replacer mods I tried, this is the one I always go back to, simply because, I mean, let's be honest, dragon riding just sells itself. And I kinda wish that was possible by default in game, since dragons are so heavily featured throughout pretty much most of Hogwarts Legacy's story, but for now this replaces your default hippogriff mount, including the flying animations and the creature movement. Plus, it features 4 distinctive options to pick between, all from the available dragon models that already exist in-game. This includes the green Welsh we saw fighting in the dragon pit during the Vice and Fire mission. This one features a really vibrant lizard kind of look with a green colored body and fins on the head and the backside. There's also the Hungarian Horntail, which is in my opinion the best of them all in terms of awesome looks. The mod goes as far as giving you the option to ride the dragon from Poppy's side story, but also offers the ethereal variant as well, which some of you who finished the game already know what it is, but otherwise looks really awesome and definitely worth trying. And speaking of flying, at number 3 we have the mouse control for Broom mod. This is a pretty simple one, adding the ability to also move up and down using the mouse controls on the PC. It doesn't yet add free camera unfortunately, but it made no sense why we can steer left and right with the mouse but had to use shift and control to go up and down. This mod still keeps those buttons if you want to, but adds the extra control so you can fully run around on your broom by simply using the mouse controls. Coming up to number 4, we have 2 mods actually that bring a bit more in terms of appearance changes to our characters. One is called Beards and More, while the other one is called School Makeup. As the name implies, these add beards and, well, basically makeup to your character student. Now don't ask me how a 15-year-old can grow a beard that even a seasoned adult would be jealous of, but I'm sure we can find a lore explanation for it. Plus, you get to walk around like a top specimen of mankind while all of your other colleagues still play with their toys, and it kind of looks really awesome. I'm not sure why it's not a thing in Hogwarts Legacy, given that there is magic that makes other things grow too. And also if you play with witch characters, there's also the option for the makeup. I'm not into that, but if you like it, there's totally mods out there, maybe even more for female characters than there are for males. Moving on, we again have a couple of mods that work very well with one another. One of them is called Companion Mod, and the other one is Companions Use Unforgivables. The first is a mere guide that lets you edit the save file so that you always have any of the dozen or so existing characters in Hogwarts Legacy at your side as your companions, even some of the ones that normally don't accompany you in many of the story missions. Even if you just stay with the ones who are, this honestly could have been such an awesome way to expand on the combat and exploration bit, and really wish could be made into a fully fledged feature in a possible future DLC or sequel. That being said, it works very well with the Companions Use Unforgivables if you want to answer one of the game's biggest mysteries, which is how come Sebastian never uses unforgivable curses during normal gameplay when he clearly opens up the path for us to learn them. Well, this mod fixes some of that, and now Sebastian can also cast any of the unforgivable curses. In fact, the mod even gives you an optional file so that he only casts those curses if you want to. But probably all the hype right now is to cast Avada Kedavra on students for some reason. I guess some people have a fixation with that, but there's a mod that does that while also adding a few cool features. And while I'm usually against showing paid mods, the features it includes are some that I actually want to see in-game as well. First, as it implies from the title, it now makes it possible to attack students around the Hogwarts school like any other enemy in-game. It only works with the named ones as well as the professors, however, so only the ones you actually get to interact with either via side missions or via dialogues. But even that, to be honest, is more than enough, and I always wanted to see what would happen if you were to clash with some of your other colleagues and maybe put your abilities to the test a bit more than just the crossed ones that you quickly breeze through in the early stages, which is where the second portion of this mod comes into play. And that is the fact that as soon as you cast the Killing Curse even once, you're going to immediately get a wanted level, and the Ministry of Magic will start hunting you down, which in this case means spawning an army of Professor Sharps, Sebastian's uncle, and the cop lady from Hogsmeade. But even so, it looks really awesome, and I kinda wish this was already in-game somehow. Kinda makes you think twice before using these curses, otherwise risk going at war with pretty much everybody. And on top of that, if you do get downed by these clone armies, then the mod does one more thing, which is really awesome, to send you right at the Azkaban prison, where you will remain for the rest of your days as a prisoner tormented by the Dementors. And I really mean that for real, because once you get sent there, there's no way of leaving, you cannot get out of the cell, and you sure as hell cannot use the Floo Flames because even the map isn't accessible anymore. Essentially, the game is over for you once you do that, and there's no way of escaping, which I think adds quite a nice point to immersion, if I might say so. So yeah, some pretty awesome mods nonetheless. Totally check out War Thunder 2 while you're at it using my links down below. There's also a massive premium bonus pack you get for free right now, including multiple vehicles, boosters, and lots of other cool stuff on top. And yeah, that's pretty much it with the mods. Let me know down below which one of these is your favorite. In the meantime, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.